So how close was Luke Altmire to joining the SEC? You're not going to want to miss this episode.
You are Locked On Illini, your daily podcast on the Illinois Fighting Illini. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
Welcome all to another edition of Locked On Illini. Thank you all so much for making us your first listen each and every day. Today's episode is brought to you by Monarch Money. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONCollege at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. My name is Bret Bielema, your host here at Locked On Illini. I apologize for my voice. It's still not quite at 100% over the weekend, but I do appreciate you guys joining me daily. That's right. Every single day you can find Illini content on this here channel. No such thing as days off at the Locked On Network. We also keep all the content free for you here on this channel. All I ask for in return is if you can hit that like button for me and just make sure you're subscribed moving forward. Today, we're diving into a story that's bigger than football. It's about loyalty, it's about belief, and it's about chasing greatness. We all know Illinois quarterback Luke Altmire had a chance to return to the SEC. He had a chance to go home, and instead, he chose to stay in Champaign. Why? Because he believes something special is happening at Illinois. And you know what, Luke? So do I. Let's go back to April. Tennessee starting quarterback Nico Iamaleava enters the transfer portal. And just like that, the SEC rumor mill went into overdrive. Could Tennessee, fresh off a QB exit, make a big swing for a proven starter? One of the most talked about names on message boards and inside coaching circles? None other than our very own Luke Altmire. Let's not forget, Altmire started his career in the SEC at Ole Miss. He was a four-star recruit out of Mississippi, and the SEC is in his DNA. When he transferred to Illinois 2 years ago, he was trying to rebuild his career, trying to prove that he could be a QB1 at the Power 4 level. And not only did he prove that, but he led Illinois to their first 10-win season since 2001. But this spring, the SEC came calling. And when the chance to return home presented itself, Altmire said no. And that decision says everything you need to know about the culture that Bret Bielema is building here in Champaign. In his own words to On3, Altmire said this, I quote, "There were opportunities for me to venture onward to the next level, but also to be able to play in another program. Being from Mississippi and in SEC country, that's very, very attractive. But I know what's important. I know what's being created here. The trust, unity, and connection I have with my teammates, my coaches, and this community. I'd be foolish to start over and take that risk when I've got trust that's been earned and built here." Illini fans, step back when you hear that. How can you not root for a kid like Luke? A quarterback who isn't chasing NIL dollars. He's not just trying to jump to a blue blood. He's trying to make history. And let's be clear, Luke Altmire has that opportunity in 2025. This is a guy who went 5-7 in his first year in Champaign. Took a beating. Had flashes, but there was growing pains. Then he came back in 2024 and doubled that win total. Illinois goes 10-3, finishes in the top 15, as now being projected by many outlets out there, including On3 and ESPN, as a preseason top 20 team. Post-spring rankings even have Illinois in the top 10. Think about that. Illinois football, top 10, preseason. FanDuel, sponsor of the show, has Illinois' win total set at 7.5. And that's not a ceiling. To me, that's a floor. Because if this team can take care of business and win the games they should, a college football playoff appearance is on the table. So what does Luke Altmire bring to the table that makes all of this possible? Let's talk stats. In 2024, he threw for 22 touchdowns, just 6 interceptions, added 4 more scores on the ground. He's now played in 30 career games and has a 15-8 record as a starter. And most importantly, he says he's the most comfortable he's ever been playing at the quarterback position. That comfort, that leadership, that belief, it matters. And it's a far cry from where this story started. Because Altmire talked about being laughed at early in his career, being seen as a joke, being doubted by everyone except the people who loved him the most, and also himself. Now, the media is talking about him in a new light. Now he's being mentioned in the same breath as some of the top quarterbacks in the country. And he's not flinching, he's embracing it. Why? Because he is one of the best quarterbacks in the country. On April 22nd, with the Tennessee rumors swirling, what does Altmire do? He posted a GIF on X of himself doing the championship belt celebration with the caption, "Keep the champagne flowing." That's not just a tweet. That's a statement. That's a guy planting his flag. And quite honestly, meathead me, I loved it. He said it was a tricky time, a funky time with all the speculation, but being able to hit send on that tweet made it clear he's all in on Illinois. And it meant the world to him. So now, here we are. It's summertime in Champaign. Altmire's back from a quick trip home from Mississippi, and it's all systems go. He's laser focused. Less than 13 weeks remain until week 1, and he's carrying the weight of history on his shoulders. The Fighting Illini haven't finished a season ranked in the AP Top 10 since 1989. That's 36 years. But Altmire says the expectation this year is to win every game. And I quote, "Every game we walk into this season, the expectation is we're going to win. And there's not going to be a doubt in our mind about it." This is exactly what you want in a quarterback. And I'm talking about any program, not just a program like Illinois where we'll take anyone who just can throw a football. This is what the elite teams want in a college football quarterback. And I've said this long on the show that having a senior year talented quarterback is a cheat code in the world of college sports. This is what you want in a leader. This is the kind of culture Bret Bielema has built. And this is why Illinois football is no longer a feel-good story. Illinois football is a contender. Luke Altmire could have gone back to the SEC and tried to prove people wrong. Instead, he stayed at Illinois because he wants to prove people right. That's powerful. That's rare. And that's why I believe this Illini team has a real shot to do something really special in 2025. And I did want to say that when this article was sent to me on Sunday, I'm very grateful that On3 wrote this article. Most of us Illini fans, we know what happened this offseason. We know how serious it got with Luke Altmire's name being brought up constantly. I certainly know. I talked about this on the show while it was happening, that a lot of Tennessee, air quotes, insiders were telling me that Luke Altmire was the guy that they were going all in for, that they were going to offer an obscene amount of money that Illinois clearly could not match. But Luke decided to stay home. Great feel-good story for Illini fans and supporters. But now, On3 has made this a national story. On3 has shown the national folks, the regular college football fan, that Luke Altmire spurned the SEC to stay where? At the University of Illinois. I've talked about how Bret Bielema continues to work overtime, working on the social media aspect of trying to build up the perception of the Illinois football program when it comes to national recognition. This story will help. Anytime Illinois is mentioned in stories like this, it's just better news for us moving forward in the future. Now that Josh Whitman has signed Bret Bielema to a contract, which could very well be Bret Bielema's last ever contract, stories like this are going to help support Bret in showing that Illinois isn't a stepping stone program anymore. Illinois is a contender, not just this year, but in years moving forward. Some of these SEC schools, sure, you might have a lot of NIL. You might have a lot of money. But here at Illinois, we have family. Ever check your bank account and wonder, where did all my money go? Between dining out, online shopping, and entertainment, it's easy to lose track. That's where Monarch Money comes in, your personal CFO, giving you full visibility and control over your finances. Monarch Money isn't just a budgeting app, it's a complete financial command center. You can track all your accounts, investments, and spending in one place. And you can stop just managing your money and start building wealth. Me personally, I'm spending way too much money going out to eat. I got 2 kids. I'm tired. It's easy to go get food from the fast food restaurant. I know I got to keep that in check. And with Monarch Money, instead of juggling multiple apps, you can use Monarch to check your finances, track spending, and even plan long-term goals. Take control of your finances with Monarch Money. Use code LOCKEDONCollege at monarchmoney.com for 50% off your first year. That's monarchmoney.com, code LOCKEDONCollege for half off your first year. And welcome back to Locked On Illini. If you're an Illini fan and it's summertime and you're trying to find people to have conversations about the beloved, check the description of this video. You can find a link to the Discord where we have over 300 Illini fans discussing Illini sports, pro sports, life, all that each and every day. It's a growing community that I've honestly become so incredibly proud of. We have meetups being scheduled, which I'll talk about in the next segment. But again, it's a great place for you. If when you sent that On3 article to Uncle Jimmy and Uncle Jimmy responded by saying, I don't care, well, find a community that does. And that's the Talk Illini Discord. Again, the link should be in the description. Next up, I'm going to switch it up a little bit, and I'm going to be talking basketball recruiting, but this time women's basketball recruiting. As I've said before, women's basketball is one of the fastest growing sports in the country right now. I'll be honest, I've been watching a little WNBA myself, and I've actually kind of enjoyed the sport. It reminds me a lot of what the 90s basketball, the NBA used to look like, right? It's still inside out as opposed to the outside in game that the men's side has developed. It's just kind of different. And, hey, it's summer. There's not much other sports to discuss anyway. So today we've got a big time name to talk about in the world of Illinois women's college basketball recruiting. But this one is for the future, a potential game changer named Jazmin Bailey. Let's get straight into it. If you haven't heard the name Jazmin Bailey yet, it's time to get familiar. She's a 5'9" point guard from Mansfield Lake Ridge High School in Texas, and she's already turning heads nationally as one of the top prospects in the class of 2027. Quick shout out to the Writing Illini, and in particular Reese Woodcock, who put together a fantastic article talking and discussing the recruitment of Jazmin and the Illini. You see, Illinois officially extended an offer to Bailey this past week, and that's not just a scholarship, it's a statement. Because when you offer a player like Jazmin Bailey, you're saying, we're not building something special in Champaign, we're aiming to win it all. So who is Jazmin Bailey? Well, for starters, she's a 4-star prospect on ESPN with a 91 grade. She's also a newly minted member of the USA Basketball Under-16 national team. That's right, the same program that groomed future Olympians and future WNBA stars. But what really makes her special is the way she plays the game. As a sophomore this past season, Bailey averaged 12.8 points, 4 rebounds, 2.8 assists, and 2 steals per game. Doing it all for a Lake Ridge team that fed off her energy and leadership. And that's the word every coach seems to use when they talk about her. Leader. Whether it's organizing the offense, stepping up defensively, or just being the loudest, most focused voice in the gym, Bailey commands respect. So let's talk fit. Because this offer isn't just about landing talent, it's about future vision. Illinois head coach Shauna Green has made no secret of her desire to build from the point guard spot. She wants floor generals, leaders, Guards who can not only score, but elevate everyone else on the floor. We've already seen the blueprint in motion. Coach Green landed five-star Destiny Jackson in the class of 2025, a major recruiting victory that set the tone for this next era in Illinois women's basketball. Now picture this. Destiny Jackson running the point in 2025 and 2026. And then, as a junior, in comes Jazmin Bailey as a freshman. Dream backcourt. Jackson molds Bailey. Bailey eventually takes the reins, and that succession planning at its absolute finest. What I personally really like about Bailey's game is her versatility. She's not just a drive and kick guard. She can nail mid-range pull-ups, and she's a menace in transition. Her handles are quick, clean, tight. She'll shake defenders and open up space for not just herself, but also her teammates. And let's not ignore the defensive side of the basketball. 2 steals per game as a sophomore, that's not just effort, that is instinct. She reads passing lanes, anticipates decisions, and converts defense into offense in merely a blink. Bailey reminds me of a young version of some of the great league guards that we've seen on the college scene. Kelsey Plum, Chelsea Gray, or even maybe a more rugged version of J.C. Sheldon. She plays with the same kind of relentless edge. Now let's zoom out for a second. Illinois women's basketball is in the best shape it's been in over a decade. Shauna Green has already led the Illini to 2 NCAA tournament appearances in 3 seasons. They won a tournament game in 2025 and have steadily climbed the ranks in the Big Ten Conference. And this success isn't just about wins and losses. It's about creating a culture, something we say a lot about athletics here at Illinois. It's about creating a standard, a reason for elite talent to say, I want to be a part of that. This program is built on the accountability, toughness, and development. And when you combine that with NIL support, improved facilities, and a growing fan base, you've got all the ingredients for a perennial top 25 program. So when Illinois offers Jazmin Bailey, it's more than just recruiting. It's about the future. It's about the next generation of Illini guards. And let me tell you something. If Coach Green can pair Destiny Jackson and Jazmin Bailey together, that's not just a strong backcourt. That's a championship backcourt. And remember, Illinois isn't just offering Bailey because she's good. They're offering her because she fits. She fits the culture. She fits the tempo. And she fits the kind of leader this program wants at the top. And if you're Coach Green, now's the time to go all in. The foundation has been laid. We've just seen one of the most influential classes in Illinois basketball history all graduate. It's time for the next generation. You've got the postseason wins. You've got a 5-star point guard down the pipeline. Now let's go get the next one. Because Jazmin Bailey, she's the kind of player who can help raise you banners. And a couple notes before I let you all go today. Congratulations are due to former Illini defensive tackle Jamal Woods. He has officially cracked the Winnipeg Blue Bombers starting CFL lineup this season. We all sincerely hope you have a very productive pro career, Jamal. Bret Bielema has had a busy couple of days, making a lot of offers on behalf of Illinois football. First off, 2028 Michigan linebacker DeAndre Hill got an offer from the University of Illinois, as did 4-star 2027 Michigan wide receiver Chad Willis. Also got an offer from the Illini. And finally, 2027 North Dakota tight end Ben Heineck also got an offer from the Illini. And finally, I'm going to need a little bit of your guys' help. I'm going to put up a poll at the conclusion of this episode, and I'm going to ask you to let me decide who is the next player spotlight I'm going to focus on. As I mentioned on Friday's episode, I think I'm going to do this once a week on the Illini men's basketball side. Take a current player on the current roster. We can kind of assess how he played last year and what the expectation could be moving forward. Last week, I started with Kylan Boswell. If you haven't watched that episode yet, please do check it out. Moving forward, I figured it'd be fun, and it's a way for me to get the community involved. You guys can decide who I pick each and every week. So next week, I can talk about Andrei Stojakovic. I can talk about Ty Rodgers, or let's say one of the Tommy Avicic brothers. Let's leave it to those 4 options for this Friday. Again, I'll put up a poll on this very channel, or maybe just leave a comment in this video and I'll count that as a vote itself. Again, before I let you guys go, June 20th, we're going to be having our first ever Locked On Illini group outing together. We'll be meeting at Wrigley Field, at least outside it. They're going to be playing the Seattle Mariners. It's going to be a 1:20 first pitch start. The head count right now has about a dozen of us meeting together, so I'm really looking forward to it. And if you can't make it on Friday, June 20th, on June 25th for the NBA lottery, I'll be going somewhere in the Chicago west suburbs, and we'll be watching the lottery together. Hopefully watching Kaspersky Jonas get drafted into the lottery, and maybe even Will Riley gets a chance to start his NBA dream. Thank you all so much for putting up with my voice today. I promise I'm working on it. Thank you for making us your first listen today. And for your second listen, make sure you check out the Portal Show. Brian Smith has the latest rumors, portal entries, and signings. Be the most informed fan of the rapid changes happening on the college football landscape. Find the Portal on YouTube or wherever you listen to podcasts. That's going to be it for me today. Got a lot of content for you this week. Make sure you hit the subscribe button so you don't miss anything. Until next time, ILL. Love you guys.